Hi besties, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about this right here. The wrong man in your life will teach you what you can do, that you can do it all by yourself, and the right man will know you can, but he will not let you. I grew up in a home where I had two parents, and both of my parents worked at some point, but then there was a point where my mom couldn't work anymore, and my dad was financially providing for her. He was always the main breadwinner. She would make money too, but my dad was always the breadwinner. And my mom has always, had everything she wanted. He gave her everything, and we were provided for, but we didn't really have much. Even though we as children, we had food on our table, and we had some clothes, and we had somewhere to sleep, and we always had a roof over our head. So me, when I talk to God and when I ask God for the man that I want to eventually settle down with, marry, or just, share a partnership with, I always ask that he's the provider. And for me, it's not about the money. I'm not greedy. I'm not a gold digger. I'm not like that at all. I make my own money. I have my own business. But the thing about it is that I want to feel safe in my home. I want to feel safe with my partner, because when your man is not a provider, you will not feel safe at all. You will not feel safe, and you're always going to be stuck in this fight or flight mode, because the woman by nature is the receiver. So when you go into masculine energy as a woman because you're the breadwinner or whatever, you will not feel safe in your body, because it's not normal for a woman to be a masculine energy, right? So for me, what I ask God for is a man who's a provider, who's a defender, and who's a protector. Because at the end of the day, I am a woman, and at the end of the day, I'm a whole bag of emotions, and I take care of everybody. I take care of my children. I take care of my home. I have a business. I take care of so many people apart from my children in my home. And what about me? Who would take care of me? And that's where your husband steps in. Maybe your husband, he's not the most emotional person in the world, and maybe he's not the most like lovey-dovey or whatever, but he could at least be for you there emotionally to hear you out, and he can be there to just to protect you as a mother, as a woman, and not only in that way, but also making sure that you have a roof over your head and you have food on your table. And that's how you maintain a feminine woman. And what about the days that you don't feel good? You don't feel good. You have a cold because the kids came home from school with a cold, so now you, as the mom who takes care of them, you have a cold. You'll have at least that support from your husband, who's remember, he's a protector and a defender. So while you're busy taking care of the sick kids, he could take care of you. He could, warm you up some soup. He could give you some Gatorade or some electrolytes or anything like that, because you're tired and exhausted from taking care of the children. Now let's go to this one. So it says this: let that man suffer with who he thought was better than you. It's funny because men tend to gravitate towards who they think they're good enough for. And so me as a woman, I am very picky. I'm very picky with my men. I'm very picky in life in general, because I know, even though I wasn't the person in this world I did not love myself. I'm not gonna lie. There was a long time where I didn't think highly of myself. And for a long time, I would just, thought the minimum was enough, or not even the minimum. It was like I think I felt like I had to show that I was worthy of them, and for a long time I think that was my problem, when that wasn't the case. And when I started realizing you're a complete woman, you do it all. You do it all. You're a great wife, you're a great mother, you are, you make your money, you have your car, you have a roof over your head. And when I started realizing, you are a lot. You are a lot. That's when I started being extra super picky. So what happens then? There's men who I've talked to, because a lot of the times, about 95% of the time, we do not move on from the talking stage, which is like texting and calling and stuff like that, because you won't give it up. because I won't sleep with them, because I'm not like that. I have to connect to you and on a different level. It's very hard for me to be physically attracted to somebody. Very, very difficult. If you guys knew how difficult it was, you'll be like, no wonder it's so easy for her not to be having a sex life. It's very easy for me to not have a sex life. Like, um, I believe that we should be connected to each other spiritually. I believe that we should love each other spiritually, and it will not pass from the talking stage. They'll get bored or whatever, or they'll eventually just be like, you know what, like, there's an easier girl than you. There's an easier girl. Or I'll just stop talking like to them if they are like pressuring me. I don't like being pressured. I'll just stop talking to them. So I'll be like, you know what, like, it was nice meeting you. Have a good life. And I always know they already have somebody else they're talking to. They're incapable, of connecting in that level. And unfortunately, well, if you're not capable, well, I'm not capable of putting my pants down for you, because we have to connect on that level. I don't believe in, oh, he gets his only. I don't believe in that. So if I'm not attracted to you, I know I'm not gonna feel anything, so there's no point. So I won't sleep with them. I'm not like that. I want more. I want soul connection. I want soulmates and this and that. I've been in situations before where there has been, men who have options, which I didn't even realize they had options. I thought I was just like, I thought it was just, okay. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not an option, by the way. Go ahead and choose her. And somebody asked me once, would you fight for me? Like, if we were in a relationship, would you fight for me? I'd be like, and I said no. I was like, I don't fight for you. So that I wouldn't fight for you, I told him. And that person he kind of ended things with me, and he picked the other person. And I was like, oh, is that why you were asking me? Yeah, and he was miserable. He was very miserable. He was, I think he messaged me like 2 years later, and he was just, this man looked so freaking sad. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm sorry you're sad. I didn't wish that on you or anything, but they always think the grass is greener on the other side. They like easy. They also like people who they feel they're at their level. And sometimes those men have very low self-worth. So when you're somebody like me who expects a lot from them, expects a lot more, because me as a woman, I know my worth, and I know what, like, I am as a girlfriend, as a wife. They don't want to put that kind of effort in, and that's okay. I've learned to live with that, and I've also learned to be like, you know what, the man that's for me, he's going to put in that work, and he's going to be at my level, because I'm a great person, and I'm a pure human being. I have very pure intentions, and I know that I can love very beautifully. And as a woman, I also don't let any man touch me. So I think that's very beautiful. I also don't let, me feeling alone sometimes, I don't let that get to me. Like, I don't run to somebody just because I feel alone. And that's very special too. So go ahead, ladies. Let him be. Let him do his thing. You'll get your King Charming. I'm not going to say Prince Charming. Your Emperor Charming, okay? You'll get him.